Hi guys, it's Mrs. Dowell. Today we're going to be working on we're going to continue to work on our narrative writing, specifically working on the middle part. So far we've written our graphic organizer based off the prompt. And then we took that graphic organizer and we wrote the beginning part, the introduction to our story. Today, we're going to continue to write our story. We're going to concentrate on the middle section. Okay. So let us talk about review the parts of a story. So let's listen to this video. That's what we're doing right now. Yep. Parts of a story. Read and write. There's and setting story. Mostly about. All right, guys. Oops. All right. So, if we remember correctly, last week I wrote my beginning. So I'm just going to reread it to you. So here's my beginning. Let's get out of here. I'm bored, Tracy said. It was a hot, warm day at school. There was so much noise on the playground, and kids were playing everywhere. The teachers were busy watching, but we thought we would be able to sneak away. Let's go to the bathroom and get out of the hot sun, Michelle whispered. We all agreed and started walking. Look, that door to Mr. Keen's closet is open. Let's peek inside, Amy said. My heart began to pump faster as I was not sure if that was a good idea, but all my friends wanted to go in, so we did. I took my first step inside and I felt something soft below my feet. Why is it cold? I thought to myself. So that was the beginning part of my story. Okay. So that's what I wrote in my graphic organizer. Now I'm going to remember what I wrote in my graphic organizer about the middle, because that's the part that I'm going to be concentrating on today. Oops. So I wrote, when we walk in, we try to go back, but the door is just a door and does not take us back. And a bear begins to chase us. And we hear a noise in the trees. It is a rabbit who says he wants to help us find our way home. So this is the only part that I'm going to be working on and writing today. So I'm not thinking about the beginning. I'm not thinking about the end or how the story is going to get end and how the plot's going to problem's going to get solved. I'm just concentrating on this part. Okay, when we walk in, try to go back. The door is closed. Won't take us back. A bear starts to chase us and we hear a noise, and it happens to be a rabbit who wants to help us find our way home. So let's see, what did I write? So here's my middle. I tried turning around to go back, but Tracy had shut the door and I couldn't find it. My heart began to race even more, and I started to get really cold. I don't like this, guys, I said. Let's keep going. It's an adventure, Michelle said. I noticed that the ground was dirt, and all we could see were trees everywhere. I could hear the birds chirping. All of a sudden, we heard a loud roar. Ah! We all screamed and went running through the trees. The bear is right on our heels. Come in here quick, said something. We didn't even hesitate to follow the voice. When we got inside, we noticed it was a talking rabbit. How crazy is that? A talking rabbit. Am I imagining all this? I thought. So now I want you to think, what did you notice about my writing? So the first thing you notice is that I have dialogue. So the characters are continuing to speak. I also show the setting. I talk about what it's like, about that it's cold. I talk about that I see trees everywhere. I talk about that I'm hearing the birds. I also showed how the narrator was feeling. I talked about how I was getting nervous, how I wasn't sure about this. I talked about how I was thinking that, am I dreaming all this? I also used onomatopoeia, which are sound words like roar and ah. I also added sensory details. I talked about what I could hear, about how things felt. And the story moves. That means that the characters were doing something. It wasn't just staying in one place. We didn't just talk about us just going through going through that closet of Mr. Keen's. It talked about how we went through, we were in the forest, and we ended up getting chased by a bear, and how we ended up in this rabbit's house somehow. Okay? So the characters did something, the story moved. So now it's going to be your turn. I want you to open up Google Classroom and you're going to open up your graphic organizer and I want you to reread it, okay? Just like I did. And then you're going to open up a Google document and begin writing the middle part to your story. So the only thing that you're turning into me today is just the middle part. All right? All right, writers. Have a great time writing. I can't wait to read the middle part to your stories.